Oh, Graeme, what the hell are you doing? Look, I have told you many times, you're not actually communicating with Alan One. It's just Bruce Boxleitner.
What? What are you talking about? Tron
Yeah.
is real. Hey, I've told you before, if I was ever going to get into a religion, as close as it would be,
What kind of hokey religion is that? I don't even know what that means. All right. Well, there's some news. There's some Tron news. We got, dude. I love Tron so much, and I'm a little bit heartbroken. I think you know why.
I do know why. I'm going to cycle my camera again because I'm already having problems.
You know.
Okay, can you still hear me?
I can still hear you.
All right.
You're still
so
there.
I think what you're talking about is that Sark,
yes,
David Warner, passed away this week. Now we also know David Warner from Star Trek.
Yep.
From Titanic. From Tron. I don't know. I could probably think of other things. But I always think of him in the Next Generation,
lots.
right?
There's lots.
Right. I mean, here's my. There are 4 lights.
Look, here's the thing, though. He has done some masterful performances, and I would argue, I don't know, man. Like for me, it's one of those folks that very, very method to me. I don't know. I appreciate
it. For those of you who refuse to renounce this hysterical belief in the users will be given a standard, substandard training in your eventual de-resolution. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was my David Warner. I could do better, but I should probably put my identity. That's actually my son's identity.
I'm really impressed. I enjoyed it. All right. Well, look, let's talk about, I think you actually have one of your signature well-known idea pitches.
I'm ready to pitch, baby.
So do it. Do your thing.
All right. So, again, David Warner, right? Rest in peace, as Sark in Tron. There's this famous scene in Tron, which is one of the very early sort of Easter eggs, where we see him examining the canyons in the grid. And lo and behold, there's Pac-Man. And you can actually hear Pac-Man, wagga, wagga, wagga. And so my idea was like, everybody always thought that was funny, but I would love to see even a short film, a digital short, an animation, I guess. But I would love to see something that looks exactly like Tron. And we see how Pac-Man actually got into the grid. Like, how did that actually happen? Because what we're seeing here, for those of you who are not Tronophiles, is you're seeing the grid outside one of the main I/O towers. So that dot on the left there inside that yellow circle, that's where Dumont sits. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. But the point is if you think about what the canyons actually look like when they're like rolling through in the light cycles of the tanks, they're like these big tall things. So if you look at where Pac-Man is, it looks like Pac-Man is trapped. So what I thought would be really cool is not only do we see how Pac-Man got onto the grid and how Pac-Man got stuck in the grid from its game, right? I mean, obviously Pac-Man is a game, so it's already sort of on the grid, but it's stuck in a canyon here. But we find out it's actually been an annoyance to Sark. It's like a huge pain in the ass to Sark. So when he goes over and looks at the status board here, he's actually fucking pissed because there's Pac-Man and it's still there and it's still causing a problem. And so I don't know. I just thought it would be a really interesting short for us to see how Pac-Man got stuck in the grid. And that's it. That's my pitch for the week. What do you think? Is it a good pitch?
Well, I think it's a good pitch. Is this like a kids series? Is this more of a lighthearted take on Tron or
no? Well,
could be. Because here's the reason I ask.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's like Pixel.
I loved the Pac-Man animated series back in the day, so I'm looking for that to come back to.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, classics, baby. Did you see this video, by the way, of there was a clip that someone put on Twitter of David Warner's last performance as Edward Dillinger.
You know, I did see this.
Hashtag Dillinger lives.
And so when I first saw this, I actually said that I didn't know this existed. I realized later that is not true. I did know this existed. And this, I believe, is so somebody kind of put this out as Tron 3. It's not Tron 3. I think this may have been Comic-Con footage that was shared very early on when we first started learning about Tron Legacy, like 10, 12 years ago. And so I don't think this is recent. I think I just kind of forgot because I probably
It is an
drink
Easter
too
egg.
much. But I mean, the point is that it's really good, and it's great just to hear him talking and say end of line. And it was just nice to see it again. And you know, it is too bad that they didn't get to make Tron 3, which has been in the works for years now in time, because it would have been nice to have him voicing the MCP again. And, you know, there we go.
Yeah. Well, and
look, they could make that voice, I'm sure.
You and I have both been advocates for Tron 3, so let's leave it at that. I would love to see more material from this universe that, you know, has barely been tapped here.
Yeah, well, see, that's the other thing. It's like we talk about with Star Trek, right? Like, we don't have to do the same characters. They can do another Tron movie. It doesn't have to be Flynn, my Lord and Savior. It doesn't have to be his son. It doesn't have to be Sark. There's this whole universe. Like, show us someone else.
Yep.
Right? Like, who else got into the grid? What happened to those fucking oranges? Man, that got beamed in and beamed out.
Let's not get crazy.
Getting carried away. I'm sorry.
These original ideas.
Fridays, am I right?
These original ideas, they scare the studio executives. They don't like change. They like sequels.
I know.
Anyhow.
I know.
You know what we have next, though, folks? We have we have a bit of a sci-fi chat, and I think we're both in agreement that we're going to go on record and say that Contact, the 1997 sci-fi film by Robert Zemeckis with who was it? McConaughey and
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster, right?
And there was actually a lot of famous people in it.
There was some debate over that being a perfect film on Twitter this week, and I'm like,
it's ludicrous.
Are you kidding me?
Look, I like the movie. I literally just recently rewatched it. And it has,
I don't know.
I'm sure there are lots of reasons people be like, I know why he doesn't like it. But to me, the premise is excellent. I thought Jodie was great. I actually thought Matthew McConaughey was great. I just thought that it had some really, like, they were trying too hard with some of the like mission control stuff.
Well, and the structure,
some of the special effects were janky. Some of the writing was janky.
Well, that was typical of 1997. I mean, we're talking about. I don't know. We're talking about that era where you had, like, you know, Deep Impact and Armageddon and all those films, and I think it was trying to be a thinking film, and I got lost in the third act, and I have a memory of, like, falling asleep in the third act or something trying to watch it. I don't know. I
don't know. I don't want to say it's a bad movie. It's not a bad science fiction movie. There are thousands of terrible science fiction movies.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is people act like it's this triumph of American cinema, and then this week when they referred to it as perfect, it was like, I'm sorry, that's just ridiculous.
That's just clickbait. Let's be honest. I think there's such a trend of,
it worked.
You know, motivating people to go watch something as soon as it enters the streaming universe. So I think that's all it is. Let's talk about Star Wars art for a minute, because I can't get enough Star Wars art.
Dude,
where did
you ever seen these?
I don't know. I don't know that I have. These are from John Berkeley, so it's Berkey, sorry. But they were art that were for posters. I feel like I have seen the posters, but I've not.
Well, you have, because it's for the original Star Wars poster.
But I've not seen the original art, like, in this form, which is to me this is awesome, because this is going on my phone wallpaper. That's what it's.
Yeah. I mean, actually, that's a really good idea. I'm going to do the same thing. This is this is absolutely fantastic. Now, I understand these are preliminary illustrations by John Berkey, but I actually think these would have been the best possible posters. I mean, there's so much raw emotion and energy, and it captures everything so well. I mean, look at Obi-Wan in that, and ships, and you've got R2 down in the corner there.
Well, it looks like it could have inspired what became, like, the template for Star Wars posters, which, you know, is kind of like the classic, like, montage of characters.
I think the first one, or is that the first one?
Oh, here you go.
Yeah, Like this one. This one
Yeah.
really reminded me of that first poster.
Well, they sort of
Just so
adopted
good.
what was somewhere between painting and photos of like putting together the montage of like the heroes and the villains and like
Yeah.
sizing them, sort of weighting the characters based on. And I have a framed poster of Empire Strikes Back where they did that. But yeah, I think
But
this
even like
inspired.
even in this one, there's that like samurai look almost of
Oh yeah,
like he's drawing the lightsaber, right? As opposed
yeah,
to sort of holding it up. Well, I guess he is more if his hand is like that. But
yeah, yeah.
still, I don't know, man. I just think these are super cool.
They are
And
super cool.
in my humble opinion, like if I owned a movie theater, an Alamo Draft House or something, and I was going to do a Star Wars marathon, buddy, I'd be showing those.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd
I
be
get it.
using those in my marketing because that is great stuff. And I love what you're saying about putting it. Got to be careful here.
Don't cut your table in half, okay?
I know. I want to use those as my phone art. Right now, I have, you know, Thor still on there, and then this is my, it's all Thor.
I know.
I'm such a sucker for the Norse gods, but I like Star Wars too. So
I just wanted to give your occasional reminder that Ronin is an outstanding film and that you should definitely watch it. I would say maybe for the 47th time because it's that good.
it is that good. So I watched it again last night. Can you click on that image that Casey shared? Because he's right. It is the best exchange. Ever kill anybody? I hurt somebody's feelings once.
Yeah. The dialogue, I mean,
movie.
it is great. I appreciate it more and more now. Like I loved it when it was one of the very first DVDs that I bought back when the DVDs became the home theater craze. But you know how they came in like the cardboard container?
Oh yeah.
And, it had DTS sound and blah, blah, blah. But I loved it when I first saw it. And that's how I first saw it. I didn't see it in the theater. But now I really appreciate the character work so much more.
Yeah, I love the character work. I love the fact that they made no attempt to ever tell us what was inside the silver case. And of course it was a MacGuffin, but even like with the package that Tom Hanks had on the island that he never opened that had the angel's wings on it, later they revealed that it was a waterproof solar powered satellite telephone and he could have rescued him. He could have saved himself on day one. I mean, and the fact that Frankenheimer never felt it was necessary to justify his MacGuffin by telling us what it was because it didn't matter. Yep. But the writing is great. Robert De Niro is just fantastic. I love Larry's character. I was like cooking for everybody the whole time. Even the little details, like after Robert De Niro goes out to scope out the house or whatever it is again, and Deirdre follows him out. The camera moves to the left, and all you see is somebody spray painting a window to cover it. And it's little. There's so many little details in Ronin that are so good. The guns do not just have, in some cases, but in other cases they don't just have like endless movie clips, which I hate. There's a bit of that, but not a lot of that. The car chase scenes are among the best and most realistic. Like I love the fact when Larry asks Vincent to get him an Audi, and he's like, I want an Audi, S8 or whatever he says. He's like, I want something I can push a little bit. And then, a few scenes later, you see him just like hauling ass into position. And for no reason at all, he comes screaming down this hill, jumps off this thing, slams the car, turns it, and he's like, okay, I'm in position. Right. And so there's just so much great stuff in that movie.
It is. All right. Well, I'm gonna stop you there because I feel like we talked about having a watch along mystery science theater style nerd fest with some films. I think we should put this one at the top of the list.
I would agree with that. Now, if we're going to do that, then we have absolutely got to have either Mike Sullivan, who is a friend of mine, or Gavin Morris, who is a friend of mine. Both of them are absolute movie experts and would be able to just give us lots of wonderful little gifts and tidbits of movie trivia and knowledge. And Gavin's fun because if you just poke him in the right ways, he'll get really upset and go down a whole train of thought. And it's just the best. It's just,
I love that.
He's just the greatest.
All right. Well, let me ask you something. Are you
Mm-hmm.
watching uh, Harley Quinn on HBO Max?
No,
No. All right. Well,
I watched the movie from a few years ago.
think you should. So you know about the animated series, right? Or is this new to you? So Harley Quinn,
Oh, I knew about it, but I haven't seen it.
I knew about it and haven't seen it either, but I started it. It's now they're premiering the third week. I'm sorry, third season of it this week, and one of the producers, writers, published something pretty funny on Twitter because when you zoom into the back computer, you see the desktop, and it's got Robin's homework, Batsuit, nipple concepts, the Ire
Well,
cut, which everyone's
nipples are
been looking
fun.
for, and bat taxes, and it pokes a lot of fun at the Batman universe, which I can appreciate after all the seriousness of the Snyderverse, which is will not die. Like people are up in arms again. I don't know if you saw like
I did.
they launched an investigation into the bots and blah blah blah, and then it
Mm.
turns out that that was all just a hit piece that was somebody with an axe to grind over at Rolling Stone. So anyhow, let's talk about your.
Somebody with an axe to grind.
You know what?
There. Oh, sorry. I'm
Let's
getting
lighten it
carried
up.
away again.
I want to
All right.
lighten it up
Yeah.
with the rest of the show. I want to talk
Okay.
about two things for you that are current events and two things for
Mm.
me that are current events, and then we're going to do your rant of the week.
Oh
Um,
God, yeah.
I want to talk first about stories from camp because this is something that I don't know. It endears me so much to see all of the awesomeness that you're doing out there. I know it's just a small peek into your world of volunteerism and what you're doing with the kids. But gosh, tell us how it was going back and doing camp again this summer after going through the pandemic.
Yeah, well, this was my 11th year there. I am with Cabin 19. I've got a lot of funny stories about these kids, and leave that, excuse me, leave that picture up. They're great kids. You can actually see behind me here is my 18th CT. This is something that we, as Dakotans, we earn them every year. I've got this long train of CTs that I've earned over the years, and we sort of wear them like priestly vestments because we're a bit of a cult. But the point is that it was great, man. Now we were supposed to do 2 weeks. We were shortened to 1 week due to an outbreak of COVID. Had to make sure camp was safe, get everything squared away, get the kids in there. We had a great time. No cases, no worries, no problems. But we had a ton of fun. So this is cabin 19. And I literally drop off the grid. I am a cabin leader to these boys. I had my colleague Arthur. They called him R2. Yes, as in R2D2. They called me Gramps. Yes, as in I'm an old man, which was really funny. They called me Gramps from the get-go. Somebody couldn't say Graham right, and they thought they said Gramps, and
Nice.
then that was it. It stuck. But I'll tell you a couple of quick stories. So you see the kid on the left hanging off the chair there like this?
Yep.
So his name is Grayson, but he insisted that we call him Maverick.
Nice.
And so at one point he turns to me at dinner and he says, Gramps, have I told you about my goal in life? And I was like, no, Maverick, you have not told me you haven't told me your goal in life. What's your goal in life? And he says, okay. He says, here's my goal. As soon as I turn 18, and by the way, Ryan, I'm like leaned in. I'm totally dialed into this story. I think he's going
Mm-hmm.
to tell me he wants to be an astronaut or an oceanographer or a movie director or God or a camp leader, right? We're like dialed in totally. It's a great moment. He's got his like arm around me. Awesome moment. And he's dead serious. And he's like, as soon as the day I turn 18, that's what he said. The day I turn 18, I'm moving to Puerto Vallarta in Mexico because you can drink there at 18. It's legal. I'm going to get drunk and it's going to be lit. And he starts going like this.
It's
And I'm
gonna
like,
be lit.
Maverick,
What?
it's going to be lit. That's what he said. I'm like, Maverick, what are you talking about? Where are you getting this? Anyway, the other kid, see the kid with his thumbs up in the middle there? So his name is Ben. His parents don't know why. We don't know why. The whole time he insisted we call him Jerry. So you can actually see I made a new name tag for him that has Jerry in quotes. And so at one point it was Viking night and I was the king of the Vikings. And we're going out. We've hiked all the way around the lake. We're going out to put the blue fire out to freeze the frost giants and send them back to Jotunheim, banish them from Camp Dakota for 1,000 years. And I'm like, I don't have a shirt on. I'm covered in war paint. I've got like this big horned helmet on. I'm screaming my head off. And at one point, Jerry comes up next to me and no shirt, covered in what looks like blood and mud. And he just comes up next to me and he yells, "We will paint the Mona Lisa in the blood of our enemies." And then he just takes off running. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, man, I love this place. And then one of the co-leaders looks at me. He's like,
That's some big Viking energy right there.
he's like, you do realize these kids could kill us in our sleep? And I'm like, oh yeah, you got to be cool.
Yep.
So you know what, dude?
You sleep with one eye open at camp, don't you?
Well, you have no choice because they
that's
come up. They're like, Gramps, I got to go to the bathroom. Gramps, I had a nightmare, which is fine. I'm totally all for them waking me up. I'm good at that. I don't sleep much anyway. So, but anyway, we had a blast. I could go on with 1,000 other stories. You can find some of them, including an awesome clip of a scene from our dining hall, which will get you up and get you moving. You can find that. I actually shared it again today. It was an awesome week. I can't wait to go back for my 12th time volunteering, my 19th summer next year. And check it out, folks. Camp Dakota, CAMP, obviously. Sorry, TAKODAH.org. And if you're looking for the greatest summer camp in the world, I can help you get in. I'm just saying. Anyway, thanks for letting me share, buddy. It was a great
that's
time.
Awesome. Well, I also want to give you the floor for part 2 because y'all are back on the trails ATVing again, is my understanding. So Black Cherry Garage, what's happening?
Yeah, so because I told you we were supposed to be out there for 2 weeks at camp, but we got shortened to 1 week. So what I did was I took my boy up to Gorham, New Hampshire. We rode ATVs up there. It was absolutely incredible. We did just about 200 miles in 2.5 days. And so I've put up another video. I would love to have people take a look at it, really get a good sense of all the different riding that we did. Our favorite clip is right towards the middle there, I think, of the video. You'll see it's pouring rain as we're driving. That was our favorite part right there. Pouring rain. I actually pulled over at one point, did a Shawshank, obviously.
You have the nice Can-Am on your hand guards throwing off.
Yeah.
I love all the red gear, by the way. So
I'm big red, baby. I
have fully transformed from being big blue to big red because Team AMD now, of course. But I'm digging it.
It's cool, man. Yeah, but I wear all my Thor racing gear and Fox racing gear, and it was just beautiful up there. So would love to have folks take a look at this video.
Look at that. Holy wow.
Yeah, dude.
It's like God's country up there.
It really is. And if by God you mean Kevin Flynn, then yeah, he did a really great job building this reality and this simulation for us. And the thing is that it really is beautiful. It was hard to take 2.5 days, and I have hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of footage and photos and condense it into 2.5 minutes. But this gives you a good sense of what it was like. Thanks for letting me share, Ryan. Appreciate you asking me about camp and Black Cherry Garage, baby.
It's awesome. I love it. Well, let's talk about 2 quick. I got a couple things here. So
what do you got?
One of them for me is I wanted to pivot back to nerd stuff for a minute. I was not there in person, but I was sort of immersed in San Diego Comic-Con for most of the week last week, like in my ample free time on the Twitters and whatnot. And you know what? There was kind of a mixed bag. There were some moments, mostly like entertainment related, but for me, it's hard to really see what the real vibe is, of course, except for just the people that are fanboying or fangirling on the big announcements, like the Hall H stuff. So did anything jump out to you? Because for me, it was kind of Marvel stole the show when it came to like big tentpole stuff. And that's sort of typical, but I also think it indicates, like, you and me, we did our DC fandom special last summer. And I just think DC is either holding back. They had The Rock come out and do his Black Adam thing, and that's kind of cool. They had a new trailer for Shazam 2, but
Shazam!
I don't know, man. I'm not into this whole Shazam thing. So it's not my bag.
I just haven't seen it. Maybe I just need to watch it. I mean, I've heard it was
I
good,
don't
but
know.
like,
It just
it's
for
not my thing.
goofy fun. It to me. I don't know. It's weird to me, but I like my Snyderverse. But for Marvel, what I wanted to ask, what were your sort of top 3 things you're looking forward to? Because they announced Phase 5 and
Yeah.
Phase 6,
Yeah. Well, first of all, my number one, 2 words, Wakanda Forever. That
of
is,
course.
not only does that look like that'll be a great movie, that is one of the best assembled trailers I have ever seen. And I do not say that lightly because I love trailers.
Oh yeah.
But that was an incredible trailer. I mean, it's emotional, it's raw, it's powerful. And people who are bitching about Namor, he looks exactly like he did in the comics. So we all know what you're really complaining about, and it's not the
Right.
costume. So
Oh,
get
I
your
know.
racist ass
And
out
by
of
the
here.
way, they're complaining about that. They're complaining about T'Challa and how
It's
they're going to
just, I
deal
mean,
with that. It's like
God,
I don't
why
know,
don't you?
man.
Hey, half the time I want to say to those people, hey, I got an idea. Um, I'm going to lean in so that you can really hear me
Yeah,
say
yeah.
this.
Okay.
Why don't you shut the hell up and try making a movie?
Uh-huh.
And until you actually try making a movie,
Okay.
stop bitching.
Got it. Okay. And look,
After I just bitched about
look,
Contact. But
you've
the
got
point is,
that movie's already been made though. You can judge the final product. My whole point is
I like that. That's a
wait.
fair point.
Wait
Just
until
wait and
the
see.
actual thing
And
is
look,
in
Black
the
Panther was
theater.
amazing. So I'm assuming Wakanda Forever is going to. I have faith in them to figure
Well,
out
I mean,
how to
Coogler,
transition.
look,
Obviously, there's a
do
Black
you not
Panther. We see the
trust
person.
Coogler? I mean, come on.
I do. I do. I do.
All
So
right.
I mean, I look. I'm a Ryan Coogler fan. For my money, it doesn't get better than
I
when
love
he
all the
sings
Ryans. I love all the Ryans, but Ryan
all the.
Coogler in
I'm a Ryan
particular.
fan. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean
So for
Ryan's. Anyway,
me, I was more excited about the TV stuff. I'll be honest. I'm excited that they're
Loki.
bringing Loki back, of
Yep.
course. That's an obvious one, but I was really
Obvious.
excited to see that they're going to reboot Daredevil on Disney Plus.
Yes. Yes.
And it's going to be like a 12 or 16 or so. It's going to be like a full blown series, not just a little mini like taste of it. And I was also excited. This is not Marvel related, but I was excited to see that I haven't been watching the Teen Wolf kind of stuff, but they're spinning off a show, and Sarah Michelle Gellar is coming back to be a part of some sort of Teen Wolf spinoff, which I'm like, that sounds weird enough for me to try it. I don't know.
Okay, that's cool.
Being a Buffy fan and a vampire fan and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I was excited to see the movies that are coming out and, Secret Wars and all that
yes,
stuff. And, looks like we're going to see more characters. I, you know, again, I just feel like we use too many of the same repetition. Like the Marvel universe is massive. So
yes,
you don't have to just take the characters everyone knows. But you know what? Hey, look, man, I mean, I'm excited. I'll watch it all. Not all of it can be great. Obviously, some of it
well, and some of it's
is
just going to be
cheeseburger,
quirky.
some of it is fillets, right?
Some of
And
it is going to be quirky. Like
some of it's going to be quirky.
there's people talking about like how are they going to tweak these shows because nobody's watching Miss Marvel, and I'm like, you know what? Calm down. Like She-Hulk is going to be quirky and fun, and I'll watch it. It'll be fun. That's all it needs to be, right?
It just
So
needs. I mean, it's
yeah,
She-Hulk, attorney at law. Like,
right,
what the hell are you hoping for here? Like,
right.
it's clearly supposed to be quirky and fun and cute, and and I love the fact that they're already showing in that latest trailer that came out of San Diego Comic-Con that she's like more agile, in some cases stronger than Hulk. Like at one point he's doing yoga and is all kind of and then she's just like busting it out. He throws a rock, she throws a rock farther. Like there's some. So I also kind of like, it's like girls are awesome, let's see more of that, right? So
Yeah,
I'm excited about
yeah,
that too. But like, I'm not expecting it. It's not supposed to be Avengers Endgame in a TV show.
right.
Nor is Love and Thunder supposed to be a really serious Thor film. Like, it's okay to have fun, people. They're fucking comic books.
Hello. Yes. All right. That almost sounded like your rant of the week, but I don't think it is. We're going to
It's
get to
not.
that in a second.
We'll get
So,
there. We
all
will
right,
get there.
folks. One last story from my end. So, transitioning from Comic Con to GalaxyCon.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just want to show you that it's already started. It's going on now, but I got to work and stuff. But tonight, I'm going to GalaxyCon. I've got a 3-day armband. I'm excited. It's like a mini Comic-Con that's I wouldn't call it mini. It's taking over the entire Raleigh downtown.
If you go on the 4th day, do they cut your arm off?
Pretty much. I think that's standard practice.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But GalaxyCon is going on. There's going to be like,
oh my God, I know exactly where that is. That's so funny.
Crazy.
That hotel? I've stayed in that hotel like 6 times.
Well, the convention center, all that stuff. But it's going to be a super nerd fest, which I'm excited about because I don't know. We do have to wear. I don't know. COVID's going around, so I do need to be careful. But I'm excited to go.
Hey, look out for Dave Ellis. He made. Wait, is Dave?
Look who's going to be there.
Steve Raleigh or Austin?
Look who's going to be there, Graeme.
Oh, my boy.
Your boy.
William Shatner. Although he's been a bitch lately about stuff he doesn't like on some of these shows.
Yeah.
And so he's turning into another ornery old-ass white man, and that's a little frustrating. But it doesn't matter. I love you, William Shatner. I love you. I know you're watching. I know he watches this every week.
But it's going to be a lot of voice actors, of course, all that stuff, which almost the entire Smallville cast, which is interesting. I love that show so much that I'm excited to see Lex and
awesome. I'm excited for
Clark
you. I can't wait I'll be watching your feed.
Erica Durance is going to be there. Like a lot of really cool people are going to be there. But I just want to point out too that I'm really excited about. So this is George Genty. He may not be a household name, but he is a comic book artist that has been the guy that's been penning all of the Buffy comic books since the TV show ended. Wow. He's done a lot of other things. He's a great artist. Here's just a small, shout out to him because I saw him at DragonCon. Maybe it's almost been a decade, and he's going to be there tomorrow. Here's the cool thing, though. This is going to make you excited too. He's drawing and he's pinning a exclusive cover for the GalaxyCon for the the first issue of the Mandalorian comic book for Star Wars. So kind of cool.
Wow.
So I might get you a little something special with a little signature if you're into that kind of thing.
I'm into that.
All right. So you see these people?
Holy tracksuit. Okay, go on.
So
yes, I see.
One of these things is not like the other.
Yes,
but
you can see that.
Yeah, I don't know. I was going through a weird, I don't know, like.
Dude, you and I both went through a tracksuit phase. It's okay.
Phase. I did take off my gold chain for the photo. They thought it was a little much. Mary wasn't into it. But anyhow, this was me at DragonCon. I want to say 2012 with some of the cast members of the much beloved show that I dig so much.
Did she make you say the word passport? Oh, Galactica. Sneakers reference.
I know, right? The reason I put up this throwback photo is I am going to meet Katie Sackhoff tomorrow and get some kind of photo. So I thought it would be fun for us to spend like 30 seconds riffing on, because I'm just out of ideas. What should I be doing in my photo with Lieutenant Starbuck?
Okay. Well, you can pose seriously like you're one of these. You can do a goofy smile. Okay. You can try to get her to do something goofy, which I'm sure they hate.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm feeling that.
You could show up with like a hollowed out apple core that you're using to as like an improvised weed smoking device to see if you can't get her. Or wait a minute, I've got something better. Are you ready for this? I've got the ultimate idea. What you do is you bring two dogs.
Oh,
right. And she holds one dog,
right?
And you hold the other dog, right. And you be like,
Everyone loves puppies.
Yeah.
Everyone loves puppies. That might also solve the problem of like distracting from all of this. I like that idea. I like that a lot. So yeah, I like that a lot. That's a good idea. So anyhow, regardless of what I come up with, I'm really stoked to meet Bo-Katan.
That's awesome.
AKA Lieutenant Starbuck.
This is a big moment for you. You're a huge fan of hers.
So this is a really moment. Cool. Yes,
it's a big moment.
It is a big moment. So I'm also like trying to figure out how do I not stammer and ask a
I know that's what I know
or something, but we'll see.
How do you not turn into like a blushing fanboy? It's
probably,
so hard.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So when the cast of Super Troopers was here in Leominster when they were filming, I like completely lost my mind. It was like, you boys like Mexico, and I like peeled out my car, and they're just like, "What a loser!" That's a
meow.
True story. That's a true
right
story.
Meow. All right, let's do the rant of the week, folks.
I'm all highway.
Do it. What you got? Choco Taco.
Look, I can deal with the downfall of our democracy. I can deal with the fact that rich people, there are no consequences. There's no laws for them anymore. I can deal with the fact that the planet is burning and that nobody seems to care anymore. I can deal with the fact that we have doomed the future generations to a just wasteland of society. But let me tell you, folks, let me tell you what I can't deal with. You can take my Choco Taco when you pry it from my warm summer hands, okay? The Choco Taco, I don't know how to sound like I'm being serious here when I'm actually serious. The Choco Taco is fucking delicious. Why would you get rid of that? Why discontinue it? And look, even if you're going to, why do it now? Why now? Why now?
I mean, hasn't this pandemic and this war,
Yeah, haven't we been through
and
enough?
Like, and this economy and this, haven't they taken enough? Now they got to take the Choco.
Now they got to take the Choco Taco. What's next? You want me to shoot my dog? Is that next?
I don't know, man.
It's like, I mean, I have two of them, so
we only have like a few simple pleasures in life left.
Yeah. So you know what I had to do? I had to go to the grocery store and buy.
Are you hoarding them like a doomsday prepper?
No, I couldn't find them, and I was so upset. And I went up to the person who worked at the store, and I was like, "Hey, do you have Choco Tacos?" Oh my god! And she was like, "Sir, can you please leave the store? We're going to call security." And so I had to buy these drumsticks. I think they're called. That's not the same thing. Look, they're delicious.
That's not the same at all.
They're creamy. They're fudgy. They're caramelly.
They're
magical, but it's not the same
thing. The quality of those drumsticks is like in the toilet. It's like eating cardboard now.
Yeah, and look, a Choco Taco can be like that too. But here's the thing about the Choco Taco is, you don't go to the store and buy a Choco Taco and have the same experience as when you get it from an ice cream truck.
True.
Right? You're like, dude, I want the number 6. And you're just like, fucking give it to me. And they give you the Choco Taco. And it's like, ah. Or when you go to, like, there was a restaurant that used to have them. I can't remember. Was it Taco Bell or somebody at some point was like, you could go through a drive-thru and get Choco Tacos. And then it was magical. Barnaby, my friend, used to drive his Volkswagen Vanagon. We'd go through the drive-thru, get Choco Tacos. I'm telling you, part of enjoying a Choco Taco is in the search. It's in the discovery. It's in the unwrapping. It's in the savoring.
Then I guess it's going to get more fun because you're going to be like I said, it's going to be like the zombie apocalypse looking for Choco Tacos now.
I know. So look, democracy be damned. Climate, screw it. We're all going to die. Pandemics, monkeypox, I'll take it. But you cannot take my goddamn Choco Taco. Okay, that's it. Maranta of the week is done.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. That's our show. My name's Ryan. His name's Graeme. We are the co-hosts of your favorite useless nerd knowledge show called Winks In. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate your likes. We appreciate your comments. We also really appreciate your retweets and you telling your mom and all your kids and your friends about us. So join us here next week. We'll be back at it on Friday afternoon telling you more about nerdy, crazy stuff, likely about Tron or Baby Yoda. We'll see.
Okay, I'm going to try to talk to Alan 1 again, so I got to go.
Do it. Hello, Bruce Boxleitner.
Oh, why are you ruining this for me every time?
I'm sorry. All right, folks. We'll see you next time on Weeks In.